many Terrorblades that have functioned well in the current patch. Like, we saw a couple of them coming through the qualifiers, some of them coupled up with Phoenix, for example. But have any of them really been like that, hey, wow, this guy can actually win you a game, not just win you a period of a game?
The games where I saw Terrorblade winning in the NA qualifiers, it was very cheesy. It was like 15, 20 minutes in, they were breaking high ground. I saw Vanguard Terrorblade used very effectively in that kind of Phoenix strategy, and that's kind of the tempo Diggity are going to have to play. You're going to Shadow Sham and Terrorblade. You don't want to go late game with this, Drast. Terrorblade will not scale amazingly well. Ember Spirit eventually will have the cleave damage to just tear through his illusion. So it's going to be all about that 1 to 2 item timing where no Diggity will be able to just go from one tower to the next to Roshan. And Fnatic are going to have to get all the cheap, cost-effective items they can to try and defend it.
Well, the timing is about to start up as the creeps will spawn up in about 15 seconds' time. As far as early warding goes, it looks like all the wards are going to stay up for the moment. So the Dire have a very defensive ward up on top lane, while Fnatic are trying to watch the rotations from the top river a little bit closer themselves with those obs planted down. And it looks like Diggity very defensive on their wards, both planted on their side of the river. And 343 actually gets a little aggressive with his...
Ooh, he got spotted planning it though, so...
Yeah, and in fact, it actually looks like they're like... okay, so it's Mushi who's pinging out saying they 100% have a ward there, because he actually pinged out No Diggity's ward on the cliff side. And then said, like, we saw him put that one down, then you walk in, you still put this down.
And the top ward, Diggity actually pinged the top ward of Fnatic. So I feel like everyone knows where everyone's wards are here in the early game. So there's no surprises when it's going to come to vision and rotations.
Funny thing is, though, there's no sentries over on No Diggity. No one, in fact, no team currently has any sentries. The couriers are busy ferrying consumables to the mid lane. So we'll watch the movements for him later on. For now, with that vision, at least 343 knows he can get up in Keizu's face on this off lane. But this is also, like, okay, Batrider, open wounds as well. He's already got the sticky napalms up, so 343, he's still going to keep up with him. This is first blood. Fnatic will actually claim it on the bottom lane after Batrider tries to get a little bit too aggressive up against a Lion with a lifestealer nearby.
Orb of Venom starting item, I love it from Bushi. Just knowing that with this dual lane setup and the jungling Doom, they have to really kind of up the aggression if they want to zone a Batrider. As soon as Batrider hits level 2, he can really contest a lane with Firefly, plus the Napalm. So going this aggressive build, he gets pulled a Sentry by Synderen, so he does de-ward his lane, which will give him a bit of gold, but Keizu is going to struggle to get that level 2 here. It's good for Fnatic. Right now, the game plan is just keep lane equilibrium completely still in this bottom lane, and Keizu should theoretically never be able to get level 2 here.
Actually wondering too, like how he's even meant to approach this. Like, you just go back and start stacking, but until you get level 2, you can't actually farm the stack. So
you scout runes, so you hope for bounty runes at bottom lane. That if you can get a bounty rune, that's going to help boost you towards that level 2, and yeah, you stack when possible. But if you're stacking, you may get beat to the rune by the Lion, because 343 should be controlling that bottom rune.
They're very aware of it too. Both teams actually pinged out the fact that Roshan, that bottom rune's coming up. But it looks like the Batrider is going to stick around, do the pull first. That means 343. There's that magical bounty you're talking about. He'll take it out.
And Keizu, unfortunately, you can only stack this big camp if you pull it to the north. So he kind of tried to stack it going downwards, which doesn't really work. And you ask, what does he do? This is a big like, there's nothing you can do as a level 1 Batrider. You can't jungle. You've got to find your level 2. So he needs to leech it somewhere. Maybe someone like Koikva goes for an early rotation just to give Bat the mid lane for a bit, but Keizu is really just stuck right now.
Speaking of rotation, DJ is preparing himself for the mid lane with an Invis rune. He doesn't actually have enough mana at the moment, primarily because he can't Troll Trap and Infernal Blade. In fact, he can't Troll Trap at all. All he can do is just do one Infernal Blade, and he's here to disrupt Keizu.
Well, that could work. He's going to hide while his Invis is about to wear off, but I imagine DJ will come back in to block the stack, at least, and be disruptive. He can block the stack, maybe grab a Devour, but I can see he swings back mid.
Koifa's up far enough. Maybe they can have a crack at this. DJ, nope, there's a leap away. Couldn't get a Searing Chains off, and DJ's in too slow.
Yeah. So Batrider, once he gets level 2, can farm and just jungle stacks incredibly efficiently. So it looks terrible right now for Keizu, but give him a few stacks, give him a few levels, this could quickly turn around in his favor. But I mean, you've got a level 3 Beastmaster, a level 1 offlane Bat. That's like as big a disaster as you can kind of hope for Fnatic.
Especially, well, for Diggity, it's Keizu who's their playmaker. Like, he's the guy, like, we always turn to him with a faceless void, these huge chronos that just change fights around.
He's leeching XP top. That's the desperation
but
play, really.
You're leeching XP, and now what's a quad lane? You can only leech so much.
He's going to leech level 2. He'll go for a pull. So this won't even get him level 2, I believe. This small camp. So times are tough in the side of No Diggity.
That it is, and they have to find a path to freedom, but of course we do have to keep in mind that No Diggity do have that wonderful power spike with the Terrorblade. We have to see his first real use of Metamorphosis. And Fnatic may already been trying to react to this. You've actually got a solo smoke now over on DJ. He's heading up towards the top lane. This smoke may not last that long, primarily because Keizu is just really, really close, and YapzOr's hanging in the tree line. Ohio cannot keep that Hawk up. It keeps getting scattered out every time it comes over the tree line.
And unfortunately, the smoke popped, so they believe they scouted out. Yeah, the Terrorblade Illusion now scouts DJ. It would have been a really nice play. So what Fnatic's trying to do there is bait Ohio, where he's against 3 heroes, and they see him just poke a little bit too far up, so they go on him, and a smoked up Doom behind him can turn it around. Even though it's a 2v3, Doom at level 3 with 1 point in each skill, and a level 3 Beastmaster with 2 points in Boar is incredibly strong and can win that 2v3.
They need a lockdown right now over on mid 1. The Radiant Observer Ward doesn't scout out No Diggity's movement because they were smoked up. However, Keizu has broken out, but it's mid 1 who's pushed up a little bit too far, so YapzOr starts him with the shackles. Synderen has the magic missile still available. They burn through the shield, and Ember Spirit will drop down, so No Diggity, they'll level it up. And Keizu can finally move on. He actually hit level 2 before he came in for that fight.
He was 20 experience short of having Fire Remnants up on Ember Spirit, so a perfectly timed gank coming out there from the side of Diggity, and
it's just a crazy situation when you have No Diggity. Like Keizu, the creep wave, had a creep wave and a half, pushing that tier 1 tower bottom lane, and he still didn't feel like he could go to the bottom lane because 343 was sitting in behind the tower, waiting for him to arrive with an illusion rune, so they could have dived the tower, get all the stuns, kill off the Batrider again. There's just no safety place to go, and right now the VS is stronger than the Batrider.
Yeah, and Mushi's ready to punish anyone who comes bottom. Going for a phase boots rush on Lifestealer is very much like anyone comes to my lane, I'm killing you kind of build.
Interesting moment. It looked like Ira was expecting YapzOr to throw out the shackles, but he triggers the Metamorphosis. So this has to be some level of pressure into the tier 1 tower now. Well, this is a very long cooldown ability, just wasted.
Yeah. So right now, things are going much better for Fnatic than Diggity here in the early game. They're just getting, experience-wise to me, is probably where they're getting the most. Like, you've got 343 on Lion, already close to level 5. Having a well-timed level 6 on Lion, it's like an insta-kill anywhere on the map. Beastmaster's getting a lot of XP out of the offlane, so Fnatic, for the most part, just getting more experience than their counterparts.
Yeah, especially as DJ now leeches off Keizu. Mid 1's going to rotate over as well, so, well, okay, he rotates over and then spirits himself away. Not sure if fully intentional, but Koifa was also rotating to do something about him. Synderen on bottom lane, meanwhile, open wounds over on him, just a little bit too close, and Mushi's Rage will make sure that magic missile doesn't stand between him and killing off the captain of No Diggity.
Yeah, I think mid 1 possibly just misclicked there on the Fire Remnant. That just seemed a bit too antsy from him. He wasn't really any danger. There is possibility to chain stun him with shackles into like a 5-second arrow, but realistically that was just over defensive. But a play, they didn't need to find a kill there. Just leeching some experience, finding what Keizu's up to. He's not even level 4 on the Batrider out of the jungle, so we're not looking at a well-timed Blink Dagger at all from Bat.
Which means slow on the initiation timing for No Diggity. We still have to wonder, what is the timing? When do either of these teams actually feel like they get more? Because right now it feels like Fnatic is just chilling. They're very happy with the way things are moving. Everything's going to progress nicely for them because they've got basically a 4-core lineup they can turn into. That's just they're taking out a tower now in the bottom lane. They could even look for more hero kills. Their lanes seem really, really solid. How does No Diggity change up the tempo of this game?
It's going to be reacting to Fnatic coming at them, because the timing for Fnatic is much earlier than No Diggity right now. It comes from the level 6 on Beastmaster and Lion, and Ember Spirit just having boots of travel. That's going to be when they can really up the tempo of this game, start taking a lot of fights, looking for pickoffs very aggressively, and No Diggity don't really have any kind of comparable level 6 timing. None of their heroes get a whole lot stronger with level 6. Their timing is the Batrider Blink Dagger, which at this rate is not going to be until maybe 15 minutes into the game. So they've got to play defensively and react to Fnatic's movements and try and dodge those ganks. Otherwise, they're going to fall incredibly far behind in this early
Top
game.
lane, Ember Spirit's going to come and join the fight. The Satyr from the jungle is actually trying to help out No Diggity right now as YapzOr on the front lines. He is going to go down, but at the cost of the Ember Spirit. With Synderen and Ira arriving at the right time, Ohio still trying to retreat out, consumes up one of the Fairy Fires. Synderen has no more stun available, however, so Ohio could just pull himself back behind the tower. That's a very aggressive maneuver there from Fnatic, and they lose out a big net worth hero, and Ira instantly turns this into tier 1 tower pressure.
Yeah, just slight little misplay there from mid one, not getting the Searing Chains off the first Fire Remnant, so he had to use a second Fire Remnant aggressively, and that just kind of depletes his
DJ
mana.
wants to fight the Troll Trap over on Cinder, and Mushi was waiting inside of it. DJ barely survived getting back to the tree line. Era now also on the run, but with the Spirits forward from mid one, the Thunder goes to work from Era. Mushi's going to drop down. Mid one will still be able to kill off YapzOr, who locked him in a little bit with the shackles, but now Era, no way to escape from this. Mid one will mop up the pieces. But still a very costly fight going a couple of ways there.
Having a 9-minute phase armlet, man, he's strong and good at fighting. That Sunder, if not for that Sunder, that would have just been a completely one-sided affair.
Koifa?
He's
actually going to kill off DJ if he can get the last attack off, but it looks like Ohio with the Raw is going to lock him in.
He's in too deep there. Doesn't have any points in the Moonlight Shadow yet as well, which could have maybe been a saving grace for either himself or Era in the top lane, but wants to go for that more aggressive build, more points in the arrow as well as the Starstorm to maximize his DPS.
And overall, no Diggity, it feels like they're just losing control of this game, but they still have themselves quite a powerful Terrorblade who's now finished up a Dragonlance. So Trez Dragon as well as Aquila.
Yeah, he's good. He's in fighting shape. 1200 HP is not something you normally see at 10 minutes in the game on a Terrorblade, so...
I'm also still waiting to see the initial push that comes out from no Diggity. Primarily when YapzOr was able to hit his level 6, which isn't too far away. When you combine up both Mass Serpent Wards as well as a whole bunch of illusions, combining it with Dragonlance makes it very difficult for Fnatic to just... Because you still have to remember they're running a 4 melee lineup. So they've got to run into no Diggity. So if no Diggity can keep that range game and kite game going on, then potentially they can just take out towers and force Fnatic into a disadvantaged position.
And what do you know? 10.5-minute Blink Dagger on Batrider. He is recovered quite nicely, I've got to say. So they do throw a scan looking for that Batrider. They don't see him at the jungle, which maybe kind of tips off that he may be getting aggressive soon. But I don't think Fnatic are going to expect the Blink timing this early on. So Kezu could be looking at a pick here soon.
He's TPing to tier 2.
There's a lot of counterplays for this if Ohio has roll.
Oh, there's the Hex. Mass Open War's down. 3-4-3's trapped inside of it. It'll be a 1-for-1 trade-off, but now the last two over on Mushi, wasting a lot of that rage time and Era sitting on the sidelines, but they couldn't actually stop him from infesting into the dire creep wave. You're going to lose as well the Mirana inside the Radiant jungle to DJ while all this is going on. And damn, they need Lifestealer to come out.
He's unlikely to cooperate, Toby. He's got rage, he's got armlet toggles. I don't think they're going to kill him at this rate. Yeah, the Bat's just kind of backed off to jungle, so... Mushi will escape scot-free, and that would have been the big kill there for Diggity to pick up, and there we go. He takes over the melee creep, gets it back to safety, and unfortunately Diggity can try and transition this into a push. They've still got a little bit of duration. Okay, no Metamorph about to wear off, and without Serpent Wards or Metamorph, this is at best a tier 1 tower, but Fnatic may, yeah, they're looking to contest this one.
Yeah, here comes the TP. It's the Ember Spirit coming in from the side. Cinder and Rawn up at the very, very start. And wow, mid one jumps further. YapzOr still going to get the shackles off, but that Flame Gun burning through the two supports of no Diggity. As Cinder and YapzOr will fall mid one once more, spiriting forward. Era has to create a couple of copies and get himself out of there if possible, but nope, Searing Chains again. Mid one's on top of it. And the Hex also arriving from 3-4-3, meaning there is no chance for a Sunder. And a tier 1 tower goes the way of Fnatic. They are really in control of this game now.
Yeah, they've hit their stride. They've got all their key levels. They're just using all their spells very effectively. Found the Boots of Travel now in Ember Spirit so they can maintain this aggression. You've got lots of cool interactions with the Beastmaster where you can TP onto his Boar, his Hawk. So even just a Hio can roam around the map looking for pickoffs now. And that's really what Fnatic's been doing the last 3 to 4 minutes, is just finding pickoffs. And the great thing about their lineup is when you find those pickoffs, they transition really nicely into pushing towers. The Beastmaster giving them that little bit of extra push. Same for the Lifestealer. And we're going to see Mushi, it looks like, build into a Deso. He's already got the Blightstone, and with an early Desolator, towers will fall that much quicker.
No Diggity. They have to bunker down now if they want to try and keep themselves in this game. Most of the time he's go out the window. At least Kezu was able to find something with that first Blink Dagger lasso. But they need to find more. And right now the scans are coming out. I think that was actually... Okay, that was a scan from no Diggity. They were scanning around just on that bottom rune area, which is kind of funny when they have an Observer Ward. But they're going to slip themselves down in front of Roshan. There's an Observer Ward behind the tier 1 tower on bottom lane, so they are very much aware that no one is down here. And yeah, they're going to have a crack at Roshan. Vision for Fnatic is very, very restricted in this area.
And they kill it very, very fast. Syndrome with the max wave of Terror. Eris holding the Metamorphosis for now. Looks like he wants to maybe try and maximize its duration in a teamfight scenario. And Fnatic are going to have to react very...
Oh, they lasso over on a Centaur because they know Mushi is sitting inside of it, trying to scout it out. It'll be swapped back down again. They got the Wave of Terror and the Armor Toggle will not be successful. Now mid one, however, the Sleight of Fist, they're all grouped up, but the arrow flies forward, only kills off a Necro Book, but you got the Doom over on Koifa. Yapzor runs back inside the pit. Roshan's still low. KZ wants to TP himself out of this one as Yapzor shackles over on mid one. Mass Open Wards, remember, they're still inside the pit, but they're quite terrible against Roshan now. And Fnatic have the choice. So can they slip themselves in and finish the job?
It was a sick decision from Diggity to go for the lasso on the Centaur to kill off Mushi to start things off, but Fnatic just had too big of an item advantage, and the Necrobook up on a high, it tanks the arrow, which was going to cause a lot of damage. Mid one is just at that stage of the game where Ember Spirit is just so high level that he can just win any fight and engagement unless you focus and burst him down, and it's mid one now with an Aegis. Things go from bad to worse for Diggity, even though they kill off Mushi to start that fight.
And it's... You think you have something and everything gets taken away as Fnatic. They just got so much on all the other cores when they roll in that you lose one, there's always someone else to replace them.
There's no one core, like, if you kill that, it's like, you kill this one hero, the fight's going to go well for you. You kill Lifestealer, it's Ember Spirit, mid one, just wreaking havoc. You kill the Ember, you focus him down, then it's Mushi with his phase armlet, soon to be desolated, doing tons of damage. And then you've got to farm Doom, a farm Beastmaster. Everyone on the side of Fnatic is a threat. A 5-position line, as long as he's got Finger of Death, he can take out one hero in any given fight. So there's too many problem heroes for Diggity in any kind of engagement that they're taking at this stage until they get a couple more items.
It really is a problem for them too. Like you mentioned, like the Lion takes that one hero in a fight, but so does Raw, so does Doom. So what are you meant to do when you're Diggity? The only other choice is to get instant advantage during the fights, and that puts more and more pressure onto KZ. He needs to get that initiation off, drag him back, and then they can lock him down. And you can use the VS, you can use the Shaman, disengage, set up for another target.
It's always going to be hard to get that clean initiation when Beastmaster has Vision. He's found Terrorblade now in the jungle.
With a Raw that's going to isolate him out perfectly. TP support's on the way from Synderen. He might get there in time for a swap. No, he will not. In fact, he ends up just cancelling his TP and staying on the bottom lane, so they get a tier 1 tower trade for the death of their Terrorblade.
Well, get a tier 1 tower. I don't even know if you can really call it tier 1 for a kill, because I imagine Fnatic are going to get a tower in this mid lane while this bottom tier 1 goes down. So it's all momentum swinging Fnatic's way. They've got the mech advantage. They're going to have more levels of the Necrobook very soon, so they can continue to take objectives and fight around this Aegis. And the beauty of this Aegis is that they don't have to be grouped as 5. They can be much more efficient and kind of secure more resources on the map by pushing as 4, having the Ember Spirit elsewhere on the map, and just TPing in with the Boots of Travel later on.
See how No Diggity are now trying to get a bit of a reaction out of Fnatic. You actually plant the Mass Open Wars down where there's very little of a creep wave left. Mid one tries to initiate, Koifa, successful TP out. That's Mushi sitting inside that Granite Golem. And he's actually managed to be blocked in.
Is he totally? Oh, the creep.
Yeah, he has to kill the creep, but with 82 damage, he takes a good like 10 seconds to get himself out of the corner.
Needs that Black Dragon. If you can get Black Dragon up and then have Ember like finish a Battle Fury soon, they're just gonna start snowballing with Blink Daggers too. So yeah, Blink on Lion. Beastmaster, is he? Okay, he's leveling up Necrobook. I was going to be curious to see if he went for a fast Blink. Sometimes you see the Necro 1 into Blink Dagger, but I think just the extra damage output of the Necrobooks at this stage, there's a lot of squishy heroes on this Diggity side, and you put like a Necrobook on a Terrorblade, you burn his mana, you maybe prevent the Sunder. Batrider, like his mana pool is very precious when Lasso costs as much as it does, so the fast Necro 3 can be very potent in this game. Will be a tier 1 tower claimed by the Terrorblade Illusions.
It's one of those towers which is just so low anyway that it doesn't even take much to knock it over. And Fnatic don't want to defend for that. Instead, they're trying to be here to put this game beyond contest. They attack into the tier 2 tower. This opens them up for potentially going high ground. You still have the Aegis of Immortal over on mid one. It's got another, basically about 1.5 minutes left-ish.
Yeah, they need their items first, so they don't even have the Desolator on Mushi picked up. It's back at base. Oh, yeah, the Necro 3 is kind of back, well, he's 300 short, so these are kind of game-changing items in a sense. Like, not that Fnatic needs them to turn this game in their favor, but they just get that much stronger when they pick them up.
Their positioning is so good right now for Fnatic. They were probably scouted out by that Dire Observer ward that's hovering over the bottom rune. So they know that Fnatic actually have, like, a force next to the Secret Shop, but KZ, oh, there's your blink. Hex, it was the Hawk giving the vision. Yapzor comes in with his own Hex and the Mass Open Wars down. He'll tank up the Raw. The mech charge going to help the sustain coming in from Fnatic. But this fight splitting up, but already 2 heroes down for No Diggity. Synderen's going to be the 3rd one to join him. And there's nothing Koifa can do. Like, they thought they actually had like some kind of reactionary initiation, but Fnatic just had the numbers.
Yeah, well, they had the numbers with Mushi at top lane is the crazy thing, because I think Diggity start poking around, getting aggressive there, having seen Mushi TP top. You see an Ember top, you're not going to get aggressive, because you know Ember has a Remnant down or has boots of travel, but they're like, oh, it's Mushi. This is a kind of 4v5, maybe a 5v5 with the Aegis, but let's at least try and use this opportunity where Mushi isn't there to get a kill, and they can't even do that. Fnatic with the vision advantage in that area around the secret shop, get the better initiation, and from there it's just, it's all Fnatic here.
And this kind of feels like we're just waiting for the inevitable to happen. Now with over a 10,000 net worth and experience advantage going the way of Fnatic, they are more than in control of this game. It would require a huge balls up from Fnatic in order for Diggity to get back into this. Because it basically requires No Diggity to get solo pickoffs time and time again. At least they're worth a lot because of the advantage of Fnatic. But Fnatic, they then do this, which is the right play. Like, you group yourself up, you make sure you're not alone, and you don't give Diggity the opportunity.
And they have such good counterplay to the pickoff of Batrider, with they've got 3 insta-stuns in Raw, Impale, as well as the Searing Chains.
Here they come. There's an Infest inside the Dark Troll Summoner, but it's the blink up. Who do they go on first? It's the Ember Spirit Keizu. He can't get the last 2 up before the Flame Guard's triggered, and even Yapsaw taken out of the fight by the Raw. They're going to lose 2. They're going to lose more. They've lost 3. The Doom's on Koifa. Will have to hide up in the tree line, and the only hero who's able to escape is Era back through his own jungle. Koifa will die in the tree line. And No Diggity, if that smoke play worked, it would have been nice. It would have been a chance for them. But they came around a corner without any kind of vision.
And it's just what you talked about. Fnatic are ready for that. They're grouped as 5. Even if they had vision or had found like their smoke pops at a more advantageous time, Fnatic have such a big item and level advantage. Unless it's a 5v3, there's no way Diggity stand a chance in a team fight like that. They're entirely hoping for Batrider to get a pick off, turn it, find a pick off, and then just run. I don't even think they want to take the 5v4 fight after the Batriders use Lasso. They lose that 5v4 fight. So that's just, I mean, Fnatic playing around their advantages, not giving any opportunity to get Diggity back in this game. And again, we're seeing time and time again, Batrider tries to blink, Lasso, initiate. We've seen the Impale stop him getting the initiate out. We've seen the Searing Chains in that situation. There's too many insta-disables for Batrider to get these easy, clean initiations off.
You can see how thirsty too Synderen was to try and get something out of this. He was trying to run forward to swap as Fnatic were bailing out of the top lane, but the Beastmaster Ball was on him too, so he couldn't even get into a better position to get that swap. Now they Moonlight Shadow out underneath the Hawk. Obviously they won't be visible until they come out of that Moonlight Shadow, and the rest of No Diggity have gotten around them. But they don't find an opening in time. The balls are still there. Ohio has been right on point, making sure he knows exactly where No Diggity is coming from and giving his team all the information they require.
Yeah. I love this pickup from mid one. He goes into the Blink Dagger, giving him that easy initiation item. And when you're against these squishy heroes like Venge, Shadow Shaman, even Batrider with just 1k HP, having a Blink chains initiation, and then you have the Fire Remnant to escape is just so powerful. You've got such good backup. You've got a Lifestealer who can infest in you as well. So you infest someone like this Ember Spirit, you blink in, it's just an insta-kill to start any fight. And it's Fnatic who has the huge initiation advantage, despite Diggity having this blink 4-star Batrider.
He actually used it straight away too. Like, no hold back on it. Like, look at Koifa. He jumped in, took half of his life off in the space of maybe 2 seconds, and then just bails back out again. And it's a really sad thing as well when No Diggity's cores are wondering how they even survive. Like, Koifa's going into this Aghanim's build, so at least he'll be a little bit tankier. But the Terrorblade almost relies on Sunder because the amount of damage that comes out from Fnatic. But at that point, do you then just commit the Doom onto him and try and take Era out if you can find the real one, of course?
Yeah, sure. I mean, at this stage, like, you can, as long as you Doom you could Doom a support, it's fine. But Dooming Terrorblade Moran, it doesn't really matter. It's whichever hero is nearby and full HP. You just want to take out some hero who's in fighting shape and prevent them doing anything. If a hero's going to die, you're not going to waste a Doom on them. But even Dooming a Shadow Shaman before spells are used is fine. So just take one hero. And you kind of said earlier, they've got so many ways to take one hero out. The Raw, they've got the Doom as well. They've got the Lifestealer who can jump on. There's just so many tools for Fnatic in every single hero to get a kill that Diggity have no real answers to this.
Fnatic are on the hunt. With the Sentry Ward planted down, they see the obs. Mid one's going to take care of that, but as the rest of the smoke maneuver, the Hawk again being sniped out by Koifa. But that's the Thunder Hive, which is being possessed right now by Mushi. Moving in towards the top ranks. No, Diggity have no choice. They have to come back and try and fight this. Even though they can't take 5-on-5 fights, they have to try and give it a crack. So Era into Metamorphosis. Mid one very quickly down. The Terrorblade can find the kill. Mid one's going to buy back and come forward, but now it's Ohio and No Diggity. They've actually managed to bring down 2 cores, but the money from Fnatic is allowing them to just keep this fight going. The buybacks all across the field. YapzOr will now go for the jump in. He's still got Shackle available. We know 3-4-3 can just turn this around, start up on the Hex, and that side of fist damage. No Diggity, they have to space out more. They're being burned down. If they can get a dieback over on mid one, life would be absolutely amazing, but No Diggity, should you almost be happy with what you've got?
Yeah, you can be happy, but you can be even more excited if you get another pick or two.
With the arrow is flying in, are they going to dodge it? No, DJ walks into it, but Mushi will arrive. The side of fist Searing Chain's helping to kill off Cinderin. And 3-4-3, at least YapzOr will keep him out for now. They put down the wards, and Mushi will die. He tried to infest himself away to safety, but it was unsuccessful. So No Diggity, they actually get, well, they get buybacks galore. They had to use it themselves as well, though. So we had a buyback over on Ember, VS, as well as on the Terrorblade during that fight.
Yeah, so Era doesn't really gain anything out of that. He just got 72 gold in his favor for it, but a huge win for Diggity, holding their racks, winning the fight. And Fnatic just didn't have any way of saving the Ember. They were a bit slow to react. When the Batrunner blinks in and lassos, like the Beastmaster or the Lion have to instantly blink impale that bat. They can't let the bat pull that Ember deep into the Diggity base. That's where kind of the fight initially goes wrong for Fnatic, and from there they just commit too much. The Ember didn't have to use his buyback. He has Boots of Travel, so he gets a lot of value out of it, but Fnatic could have easily disengaged and just even probably taken like a support kill and then just backed off and called it a day. But committing the Ember buyback, it works out okay, but the Mushi getting chased down ultimately means the fight wasn't really what Fnatic had in mind.
Fnatic were probably just assuming that that would have gotten a lot better once mid one arrived back there, and they would have probably finished the racks, which makes the investment of buyback more than worth it. And
that's where Diggity, the great thing about Terrorblade is a few patches ago the Metamorphosis was changed. That's that when you buy back or you respawn from Aegis, you're still in Metamorphosis. So you don't lose that key fighting spell on Era when he does commit to the buyback. So they still had a good fighting Terrorblade as things kind of continued. And the fight drew out longer, and that's where a hero like Terrorblade in a drawn-out fight can dish out a ton of damage.
Fights are going to become a lot easier now for Fnatic as well. The Assault Cuirass is done over on the Lifestealer. And they're just trying to rack up the auras. Like, DJ's still walking around with his flares. He's got the mech. He may even just finish up the Greaves soon. Mid one's going to start looking at his real damage healing item. Obviously, Battle Fury is already a great one. But having the Blink and the BTs, he had a lot of maneuverability. Now the damage is going to start to rack up even further. And heroes like Shadow Shaman and VS don't really stand a chance against that, especially when you've got such low net worth. The VS doesn't even have 2k net worth at the moment. It's basic brown boots as well as Urn. Like, that's not even a magic wand, that's a basic stick. This is going to be still a very hard game for No Diggity.
They Moonlight Shadow in aggressively, perhaps trying to contest the Roche pit, but
they don't have any vision inside the Roche pit, but they do see, thanks to the Observe Ward in the Radiant jungle, the movement of the courier around Roshan. Yeah. So they're aware something's going on.
Fnatic themselves have some very good vision. They missed the ward on the cliffs, it looks like. This new cliff by Roche is just a bit harder to click now. But Diggity, their only move if they want to stop this is to smoke up and try and get a good bat initiation, but it's going to come too late. Fnatic just kill Roche a bit too fast with the minus armor of Desolator and Assault Cuirass.
So here's the question, does No Diggity still make the most out of this smoke? You're seeing a little bit of indecision.
It's so risky when you've got the ward, so you do have some vision. If you can catch, if you see Fnatic split up on the retreat, then yeah, you can get something out of it.
Here's a problem. You can't stop Aghanims from triggering Starfall. It just triggered over on the Boar and was instantly pinged out by Fnatic, so they knew that No Diggity were moving under the cover of smoke. Cinderin wants to TP out, but the Hawk is right on top of him. So at this point, they just leave Cinderin and get the hell out.
Yeah, it's probably a good call. Seen that one a few times with No Diggity. Cinderin being like the mobile ward.
That's one way to look at it. Bottom lane Koi for Searing Chains on him. He's already used Leap. He can't blink away, and they should go for a double control. Keizu, the blink, roar, and then Finger of Death mops him up very quickly. He was on top of that misplaced Observer ward. And Koifa with a leap away. Actually, is he going to survive this? The Spirits are jumping down. Yes, he'll be able to TP out. But it's still a massive problem. They still lost their Batrider, so they still have their Initiator down. Buyback is available, but it's not an ideal scenario. 20 seconds to go.
Did Bat lose a gem? Was he dewarding? Yeah, he lost his gem. He just picked up a gem, lost it. I'm like looking at this ward like it's low HP, so he was trying to deward and then just got killed off by a lion initiation with a finger. So that's actually disastrous for Diggity. Well, things just got a whole lot harder for them now. Giving away a gem means map control is going to be completely taken away from them once Fnatic kind of sweep through the jungle. I mean, they already could quite effectively with a Beastmaster Necrobook, but it also just saves Fnatic 900 gold. They don't have to buy a gem for themselves. So an 1800 gold swing. Beastmaster, hey,
hang on.
What are you doing buying a gem, Beastmaster?
Yep.
He didn't get the memo, that 343.
That's not the plan.
That's where like a small communication breakdown, like just hadn't been told. Like, by the way, actually, it looks like he sold it.
No, it's in his stash.
Okay.
So yeah, they currently are walking around with 2 gems, one on 343 and one in the stash for the Beastmaster.
I mean, your Beastmaster, like after you get your Necro 3 blink, the logical play next is often to go into that gem. So if Lion just picks up that gem, probably just didn't communicate to Beastmaster, hey, I got this gem. And
what's your thoughts on the BKB, the mid 1 BKB Ember Spirit?
It allows him to start the fight off. Like he can blink in, go for a Searing Chains, and then just do a ton of damage. Not worry about getting hexed up and insta-disabled and burst down. Even if he gets lassoed when he blinks in, he's not going to die, assuming he blinks in with a BKB. So typically you see this Ember Spirit with Blink where he plays this kind of kiting style, sit around the edges of a fight, blink in, throw a Sleight of Fist, Searing Chains, and then Remnant away. He can fully commit to a fight. And when you've got this big of a farm advantage as an Ember Spirit, you're actually pretty good at just kind of staying in the front line, dishing out damage.
They used the Hawk as bait. He walked up just to deward it. Now Mushi swapped underneath the tip for Towers, but Synderen explodes to the finger of death. Fnatic want to move out a little bit further, even though DJ's in very, very deep. Era's going to be doomed up, but he's very happy with that. He'll tank it out. Like, maybe not so great because he can't create his illusions after triggering Metamorphosis, but at least be able to survive.
Well, this will be at least one lane of frags. With Mushi having an Aegis, there's a good chance Fnatic just swing their way towards this top lane.
And with no support controls, literally Batrider is your only stun available. Getting a Blink Lasso over on this group. Lion's probably going to be the primary problem for him, but then you also got the Searing Chains problem. But it will actually be a double lane of racks, and the jump in is DJ with a War Stomp going on Koifa. The stun's there from the Lion. So Mirana is down, buyback is available, and this is kind of all or nothing right now. So Koifa's up, you got Synderen also alive. He'll TP forward. They want to keep Mushi under control. Lasso and stuns, everything they've got. Mushi can't infest, he can't get away. So they will be able to find one with a short-range arrow into DJ that'll hold him in position just long enough for Shadow Shaman to actually get over 1k gold from finding that kill.
Ultimately, it's not really enough for Diggity. Even if they team-wipe Fnatic, they're still, like, it's still not enough.
It's still
you're not back in this game.
It's 25k gold deficit, it's a 22k experience deficit, and you're down 2 full lanes of racks.
And the one thing we haven't even talked about is you've got a Terrorblade in this position. Terrorblade functions kind of similarly to like a Drow Ranger strategy where you don't want to play from behind. This is a hero that hits a timing around like the early game where you can push and break towers, and if you're ever going late game, you need to be going late game with a gold advantage. There was a great game at the Shanghai Major where OG got knocked out and they had Miracle playing Terrorblade. He's the top net worth hero the entire game, but this game just goes 50, 60 minutes, and he's the only farm hero in this game. This is not a hero that can carry in the late game, and you look at Diggity's draft, there's a ton of pressure on Terrorblade to be kind of that main carry. There's a Mirana who actually scales pretty well, but you can't really turn things around when you've got just a Terrorblade as your main carry.
Yeah, you want to ask a Mirana to scale well when she's got Blink as well as Aghanim 32 minutes into this game. And that's all. She hasn't even hit like the 5-digit net worth just yet. It's going to happen in a moment. But out of the top 5 net worths, you got 4 of them being Fnatic, and Fnatic by a very large margin.
Yeah, and at this early stage of a game, 33 minutes in, having 4 heroes well over 10k net worth, your 5-position Lion approaching 10k net worth, that's just an incredible feat for Fnatic, and one that Diggity just don't have the answers for. Even with the Aegis down, there's a good chance Fnatic can just barrel down this bottom lane as 5. If they really want to play things slow and safe, they can wait for that next Aegis cheese, but this game is entirely in Fnatic's hands. It would take like a miraculous comeback from Diggity to turn this around.
Talk about slow and safe. Defensive build, Ember galore, BKB and Lincoln Sphere. On top of his BTs as well as Blink Dagger.
Yeah, this is
At least he knows he should never die.
Yeah, when you're going aggressive with Ember and looking to push and end the game, you need these items. If you're playing from behind, defending your high ground, you want the huge glass cannon DPS. That's where you go Battle Fury, Daedalus, Divine Rapier. But those items don't help you push. Having items which tank you up and allow you to engage a fight, that's what helps you push in mid one's position.
Fnatic actually just went for a defensive scan. It looks like they were trying to work out where No Diggity was moving. Yep. They were actually making a play for mid one up at the top lane, but obviously mid one doesn't hang around too long. Spirit's away, and then Fnatic just push bottom lane.
That was some really nice safe play from him, just remnant it away, taking all the precautions that he needs to, even with the Linken's BKB. Even if he does pop the smoke, there's a good chance he can escape anyways with that Linken's BKB. But not wanting to take.
This could be the final defense right now from Fnatic. The Hawk's already moving into position. The Flame Break's actually off target, but the Wave of Terror will kill it off. With the Radiant Creep Wave going in so deep on that bottom lane, Fnatic have very good information about what's inside the base, and a double damage rune over on Ember Spirit just makes this push even easier for them.
It's Mushi and Fest inside 343's Lion. Not sure that's the ideal. I think he's a bit better off maybe inside the Ember Spirit. You don't really want Lion initiating the start of the fight, but not too big a deal.
I was actually waiting for him to be in higher at that Blink Roar and Necro Book, but the Necro Books are being expanded a little bit earlier, so they can just force into the tower, and now there's your jump in. DJ and mid one right on top of it, 343's in there. Oh, Mushi's just along for the ride. He's not even jumping out. He's just watching his team win the game at the moment. Waiting for the right opportunity, and maybe that's it. Yapsor's initiation. He jumps out. The Shackle will be there. Yapsor just explodes. You already bought back over on the Bat Rider. Koifa's going to go down as well. This game is over. Yep. You're going to lose every lane of racks here. You've got no buybacks up on anyone, and there's the call out from Cinderin. GG, Fnatic, a commanding performance here in Game 1.
Yeah, I mean, Era just spent the entire fight waiting for Doom to wear off so he can just pop his Metamorphosis, and they invested all this farm in a Terrorblade who, even at the late game with a kind of comparable net worth to some of the Fnatic cores, wasn't really able to do a whole lot in the fight. There's just too much control, too many lockdown answers with the Roar, the Lion, got Doom as well every single fight. So they just Doom the Terrorblade, then ignore him. They kill everyone else. This Shadow Shaman Venge, two very squishy supports that never really took off. And the biggest problem, though, goes very much back to the start. That offlane Bat Rider just completely shut down, giving